Hello everyone. As you've probably figured out by now, I'm not just a good knitter, I'm a pretty crafty person in general. So when I was younger, a lot of time was spent exploring all sorts of different types of crafts. It wasn't just yarn, although yarn was a huge part of it. But another craft I ended up being pretty good at was plastic lace. So this stuff. I did know it by another name when I was younger, but while it's not an offensive term where I live, it is an offensive term in other parts of the world, and YouTube's international, so we're just going to be calling it plastic lace. And this particular spool I had for close to 2 decades now, I want to say. If at least over a decade, if not two, and I'm almost out, so I'm going to use this in a very special way. And since you're watching it, this video, you probably know that I'm going to attempt to knit with it. I mean, that's what we do here. So I am concerned about how nice the knitting is going to look, because if you look, it's completely flat. But most yarn is round, or more like a cylinder if you were to like set it all up. So we're going to give it a shot. I'm not going to worry too much about how, like, there's not too much left of this spool. So I'm just going to use the rest of this up. It should be enough for a couple rows. I actually learned how to use plastic lace before I learned how to knit. I first learned how to do the box stitch when I was 8 with the Girl Scouts. It took 2 tries. I didn't get it on the first try, but then I went to bed and the next morning I was able to get it. Alright. I want to do the easy cast on, but I have to be careful about how things twist here, because I don't want to twist that's unsightly, you know? Like, this is meant to lie flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 5. Let's go with 7 this time. Shake things up a bit. There we go. I think I'll be happy with that. So we're going to start with the knit stitch. Oh, that could be a really intriguing sitcom idea. A knitter who's a snitcher. Alright. Good thing that it's getting cooler outside, because I remember the only downside of plastic lace is that if your hands get really sweaty, it becomes harder to grip. And this is largely a summertime activity. Although it is good that, unlike yarn, if you sweat all over this, it doesn't really ruin it. Alright. We are in now, twisting a different way. So now when I'm purling, sorry, I hit my lamp again. So when I'm purling, I want to make sure this twists in a very similar way. Okay. I'm going in the same way, because I feel like if I make a mistake, it's going to be more noticeable here. Oh, that just twisted in a weird way. Maybe I can bend it. I have some nails to work with. Not all. There we go. Oh, that just twisted again on me. Oh, no, it didn't. Okay. There we go. So that's like 2 rows. We'll knit 1 more row. working? Yeah. Yeah. So that's kind of what's going on if I'm pulling it down enough. It didn't affect it as badly as it was, but this this plastic lace is also pretty clear, so I'm guessing it's not as noticeable as if it was a more solid design. Probably the clunkiest part is the cast on stitch right here. That was the slip knot. So that's the plastic lace. So you can see I have like the flat lace. That's just what I spent most of my childhood using. But I also have some round plastic lace. I'm going to try that with that as well. So I'm just going to slide that off. Boom. Now I have attempted to knit with this before, and this is actually easier to knit with. You don't have that concern about it looking like about the flat thing because it's round like the typical yarn. But the fact that it's round makes it less useful for what it's supposed to be used for, which is like the I guess it's macrame designs or close to macrame designs. Well, macrame is a little bit different than working with plastic lace. It's like different. Plastic lace is more about the knot, and macrame is more about the design the knots make, if that makes sense. So that's 6, 9. I guess that's like the difference between the two. Macrame is usually done with like twine or embroidery floss. But I once made when I was working for the Boy Scouts, I got this type of plastic lace, and I made a neckerchief slide with it. I needed a rubber band to hold the neckerchief slide up, but it still looked pretty good as a mainstay for a while. I mean, this is just like normal knitting for the most part. Let's just do one more row. You know, this almost feels like it could be the exact material or very close to those Betty Spaghetti dolls. Did anyone else have those dolls? I don't really see pictures of them so much anymore. It's like Betty Spaghetti had like, her arms and legs came off, so you can like switch the arms and legs to change her outfit. And she had a huge ponytail that came out, and the hair was this thing, and you could put beads on the hair and you can braid it, and it was a lot of fun actually. I think I kept my Madeline dolls with Betty Spaghetti, which two completely different vibes, but I didn't care about that at the time. I'm a very complex person. I have very varied taste. All right. So this is kind of how it's turning out. I mean, when I knit with this type of plastic lace last time, it was the garter stitch, so it was like all pearl, and I think it looked neater. This doesn't look quite as neat, but it looks less of a tangled mess than this does. This looks more coherent than this. So that was today's entertainment. Have a nice day.